Hi, welcome to this video. I'm Julia. I have no experience with Unity, I don't enjoy coding, and I've never made a game, but I have one goal, and that is to make an interactive claymation stop motion experience on the computer, and I thought the best way for that would be in the form of a point and click game. Now, I'm not the first to think of this or do it by any means. This is a Neverhood from 1996, so awesome. Also Helix and Helix 2 by Mason Lindroth, hope I'm saying that right. One of my biggest inspirations of all time ever. Thought it was really cool, wanted to try it myself. So I got to thinking, and here are my notes and sketches of what I thought I wanted to do. I decided it would be about me and my dead childhood cat, Zachary here, and he comes back from the dead and gives me some kind of message as an adult. I don't really know, still working on it. It'll come later, but I decided to call the project Ludum, which is just Latin for clay. I thought it was nice and open-ended enough I could do whatever with it. Yeah, so the first thing I had to do was make everything out of clay. So I began with my person, which was of me, and I used plasticine or polymer clay, the same stuff that like Gumby was made out of, and I had an armature that I put together with like ball and thread pieces, and I built a house out of wood. Well, my little room, it's a replica of my apartment, and I covered it all in clay. I put in the furniture, and I also made Zachary's character, which was tin foil with a wire for the tail, so that part could be posable too. And the next thing I had to do was photograph everything. These are the finished photographs, and I also made some dirty clothes for my room, so maybe you could like clean my room for me. I don't know. This is me and Zachary. I think we look pretty cute. I also made some UI elements like the pointer and the menu, and I also made a font using Font Self, which is a plugin for Photoshop and Illustrator. So yeah, the process of photographing and animating everything, I used a Canon Mark III tethered to Dragon Frame, which is the industry standard for stop motion animation. And this is like what the raw image looked like, for example, in the studio. And then for the walk cycle of my character, I was animating it on a table with a bunch of little holes in it so I could screw the feet, which my armature had a little like hole in it for me to screw through. So I was actually screwing the feet down every time it made contact with the table, otherwise it wouldn't stand. So this is a preview, a video off my phone of what it looked like in Dragon Frame after I did all these directions. So I'm doing up, down, left, right, and all the diagonals too. So a sprite sheet is a PNG that you put into Unity, and it will use the frames to play the animation of whatever your character is supposed to be doing at a certain time. So I photoshopped every single frame of every single thing that I took, removed the background, feathered the edges, and made my sprite sheets. And I included details like Zachary blinking as well. I was taking out his eyes here to Photoshop onto another picture of Zachary. So here's his sprite sheet. But for my character, it was much more complicated, like I talked about a little bit already. I had to include the right, left, front, and back walk cycle because the game was going to be kind of top down and all the diagonals with it. That's what the front walk cycle looked like. I just exported that out of Photoshop. I also made a Kit Kat clock, which I didn't document earlier, but that's a sprite sheet there, and my drawers, which I hoped to like trigger an opening animation with. The next step was using Adventure Creator, a plugin for Unity. It is a visual scripting tool, like in this picture, so I don't have to hard code everything, and that's what the visual scripting looks like from their website. And I followed this tutorial from beginning to end, and it took like 2 weeks to really go through everything thoroughly. But once I did, I made all of my assets myself, just in Procreate to kind of try it out with my room. But that was taking too long, so I just stopped and I plugged in my own clay assets from the photo shoots and animation that I did. So you can see at the bottom, there's Zachary's sprites, all the frames of the animation that I would be using. So Zachary's an NPC. Adventure Creator has a really great tool to easily make NPCs and players and kind of automate animation and interaction based on like whether they're an NPC or a player. Threw my character in there. Everything was moving that I wanted for the most part. You could hover over some of these items and they had names, but now I had to plug in all of my different walk cycles to get me to move. So that included the front, back, left, right, and all the diagonals, and also the little extras and the talking that I wanted to include too. And here's me turning it into a player using the Adventure Creator little tool that already existed. Now, I really did not know what I was doing. I didn't practice making sprites or anything. It turned out all right. I think that some of the animations could use a little work, but it's my first time, so this was me previewing all of the animations before I played it. And yeah, that's about as far as I got. Now I can walk around my room. I put in nav mesh so I wouldn't walk onto my bed or things I didn't want to walk onto. It does some quirky little things here, like that little glide. I'm not sure how to fix that, and I don't know what's going on. I also have no idea how to change the font, which seems so silly because everything else is really hard. But this was the fruits of my 2-month labor that I put into this game. I think that next I'm going to work on the interaction between my character and Zachary. I'm going to work on being able to put the clothes into the drawer. And just like cleaning up the UI elements. I also am gonna put a shader on top. But this is what I got so far. Hope this was kind of interesting because it was fun and it took a really long time. Okay, bye.